Hello, good day. This is Ernesto Bernal. I'm an applicant for the certification of the Diploma 4. This is my video diary and a little bit of my critical self-evaluation for RSL. First of all, I'd like to begin with the discussion about the warm-up. And I'm going to begin with the things that I think I got wrong or that I didn't do well. Well, at the beginning in the discussion of the warm up, I think I should have I think I should have given more information about the body. I mean the heart rate, the circulation, the that when you warm up, your joints loosen up, and you increase more the blood flow to the muscles. And I also should have performed some abs because I spoke of them while I was explaining to Mrs. Jackie, yes, that. Well, I said that the apps were very good for the body and for starting warming up, but I didn't do them when I was performing. So I think I really should have done that. Also, I should have spoken about more oxygenation or the oxygen that goes or starts flowing into the body, the temperature, and that our cardiovascular system just gets the adjustments it needs for the upcoming physical activity. No. Well, I think that's about what I think I should have done better. I should have spoken a little bit more of this. Although I spoke of my personal way of doing certain things because I have some past with my knees and I have to warm up them a little bit more. Also, well, actually, it's all my joints. I had this little sickness when I was a teenager that it's called osgood-Latter, and of course, I added some of that information to my explanation and justification or discussion in the warm-up, right? Well, after that, I started performing. I explained how I did that and what I was going to begin to finish. Also, in the meantime, when I was performing, I started to warm up also my voice, and I helped myself with a little piano on my cellular phone, and I started warming up in that area also while I was doing some physical activity or while I was warming up my knees. So after that came the presentation of my numbers. I chose 3 musical numbers and singing and acting. None of the songs had a dance, but well, here are my no's in the presentation number. I'm sorry. Well, first I started with Sunset Boulevard, and although I think I gave a very good information or enough, no, not enough. I gave certain, I gave good information about it. But I think now that I checked and I prepared for this, that I missed to say to Miss Jackie the other rules of norm nor film. Um, that of course I spoke of the femme fatale and of the hero with no future. Of course, that's the first of the rules. But I forgot to say, or I didn't mention that one of the rules of the noir films it's that you make it any color as long as it's black. The other rule it ain't what you say; it's the way you say it, and that in those stories also America is seen by a stranger's eyes. So I think those were my mistakes or what I missed to say at my examination. Okay, for my next number, that it was "You'll Be Back" from Hamilton, I represented the King George IV. And I think this was one of my weakest numbers because I think I missed to give some important information regarding this character. I think I should have given more information of him, that he was a regent during his father's mental illness, and that is very important because he had some of that inherited from his father. Of course, he was extravagant, and his lifestyle, his lifestyle contributed to the fashions of the Regency era. So I missed also to say that the ministers of George or that were surrounding him in that area found his behavior selfish, unreliable, irresponsible. He was many times under the influence of favoriteurs, or however that's called. He was, I mean, he didn't provide a good leadership while he was like in the power. And well, the people were malcontent with his ruling. So I think it would have been good to give that information, and also that he really or very rarely left his castle where he lived. So I think that is what I missed to say in this. It would have been a little bit more complete, and of course it would have made my performance, or at least the discussion, better. And well, for the final thing that I presented, that it was the third song. It was called "Raise a Little Hill" by Bonnie and Clyde. I think I should have mentioned that was the time of the Great Depression, and it was the longest, deepest, and most widespread depression of the 20th century. I think that's very important, and I missed to say that. Also, that they were known for their rob banks, of course, because it's a story of Bonnie and Clyde, but they preferred to rob small stores and gas stations, for example. Also, really important information I missed to say regarding Clyde is that he was repeatedly sexually assaulted while he was in jail, and that other inmate just chopped him three of his fingers of one foot, and of course after that he was limp for the rest of his life. I think that was a really important information I missed to say when I was presenting my song to the examiner. Well, I think that those were the things that I did wrong or not that good. Now it comes a part of my, the candidate successes. Well, in the warming up discussion, I think everything went quite good. I gave good reasons, my justification of where I started. That I said that I first started warming up, no, stretching, then warming up. Um, and well, I think I spoke of the importance of warming and stretching to avoid injuries, especially when someone in my age, that I'm 36 years old, starts needing a little bit more caring of the body because the body changes. So that's in the part of the warming and stretching. Um, I think I did a good job of explaining why and how I did things and how I do things. Um, Now, in the presentation of my songs, it was first Sunset Boulevard of Sunset Boulevard. I think I had a good knowledge about all of the film noir atmosphere because that's where this musical comes from, and I think I knew quite well the story and the character and the situation that he is when he is presenting that song. Um, I think it was good. I felt really really in the mood of the character, and well, personally, when I act, I have a very big facial expressions, and personally, for me, this was very or yeah, well, it was very hard to accomplish, to have this character that is like more contained in its movements, in his thoughts, even in his actions, and he has become some hero like without courage. He, or like a hero that has accepted his reality and he's comfortable with that. So that's what my successes were. I think that were in this song. My next song is "You'll Be Back from Hamilton," and I think I did a good job in approaching the character from this position of power, because when you have a total power like this, kings of the past, that they were kings because of the divine right. I think that can change the mind or the behavior of someone. Also, I took it. It was a good thing that I took it to the extreme, and of course, using my big faces, I think it was really a good comedy. Well, the comedy was really well accomplished in that number. Of course, using my characteristics and the things that I know that I have, right? I also think I expressed myself very good in emotions in that number because I had it well built. I think those were my successes in that presentation. And finally, my last presentation, it's Raise a Little Hell. I think it was also a good place to start in thinking what would it be to be that my freedom was taken away. So I think that it's in those situations that anyone can do anything. I mean, it's desperation, it's isolation. So I think it was a good place to start to build that character, and Also, I think that I used my verbs during the or and my particularizations really well during the song was building, and that took me to a very high state of emotions in that number. And I think those emotions are really well transmitted. Because I built very well the way he is starts well the way he starts the way what he starts feeling and how he's building up until he decides to kill someone, and that's gonna change his life for good. And well, I think that was a very good thing to do in that number. And now my areas of improvement, although I think I need to be more specific. That's a thing that I need to keep working on in every ways. More specific in information, more specific in performing, more specific in the details. I think that's a really good area that I can improve. The other, of course, it's the dancing. For me, it's my weakest area, I think, and of course, I need to keep working. I need to keep dancing. I have learned a few new dances right now, but I know that I need to keep working on them to so that I can dominate them. Right? I think the other thing, the other area of opportunity that I have is, well, I need to start combining the three disciplines all together at once, at the same time. I think that's the thing that's gonna make me better, and of course that I would be able to use um, all those three things or my good things to so that I can lift up the other area that I don't have that strong as my singing, for example. I think it's the only way to get better and the only way to get results. I have to start combining the three of them, dancing while I'm singing and while I'm acting, and I think that's what I need to work on. Also, I think I can work on a little bit more in my uh, physical condition, because in the performing, when I did the performing with the audience and that, I felt in especially in one number that is really quite moved or moving when we were dancing a lot and singing, and it's a really moved number. I know I can work more on my physical condition so my air doesn't run out. And at last, for finishing this video, my plan for continuing development. Of course, I have my notes here so that I don't lose the line of what I'm saying. I hope it's all right. Now, of course, besides auditioning and doing all the process we actors are doing every day, of course, I know I need to keep working on my dancing. I need to keep working on my acting. I work on my singing every day, every day I sing. So that's my strongest area. I need to keep working on the other two. My plan is to keep on dancing at least one day a week so that I don't lose what I have accomplished, and I need to open my spectrum of dances. I need to learn. I think I need to get to learn a little bit more ballet, more classic, so that I have better postures or better bases. My plan is I will give a day to each of my areas, and a final day for combining them all. So well, I'm giving at least 2 or 3 days a week at singing, because I teach singing, and I also practice my songs and all that. So that is on a weekly basis, 3 or 4 days singing. Then I will give a day at least to dancing. Right now I'm dancing jazz, and I'd like to retake the tap, because I'm a beginner on tap. So I want to return to that area so that I keep improving there. And I will give a day to acting also, so I can practice with a monologue or something like that. And after that, the important day of combine them all. I'm actually right now looking for a list of numbers that I can develop doing those three things. I'm thinking of something of like singing in the rain, something like that I can do all of three, you know. And I have, okay, my plan is to do this until I begin my next preparation for the Diploma 6. Of course, that is if I pass this Diploma 4 first. So after that, also my plan is to keep or to try to keep on the stages a little more. Keep on auditioning and knocking on doors, going to casting, so that I can be in one or more plays. I think that's what I need to do so that I improve faster. Oh. I want to thank you for your time, and I hope that this is enough for my evaluation. I'm uploading the videos to a link in YouTube so that you can watch it online. Thank you very much. This was Ernesto Bernal, for applicant for Diploma 4 of the examination certification for RSL, Rock School of London. Thank you very much. Good day.